Welcome back to What the Flag. Look, we are trying to make this work whenever the three of us are even on the same time zone. So we appreciate all of you amazing listeners and viewers for just being patient with us as again, we are traveling across the world. But so excited. We've got Yaz back, Kenny's back, and guys, it's really feels like it's been a long time. I know it hasn't quite been that way, but I'm gonna jump straight to Kenny because you finally have announced the Oakley UK Jukes kind of
Yeah,
collab. Talk to the
partnership.
people.
No. Really good, really good. Massive shout out to Oakley. They won't mind me saying it's been a long time coming, long time coming, but it's really great to have someone really get behind us and kind of put the money where their mouth is and support what we're building, what we're growing. So, I mean, with it, we've got some exciting things planned, and I think it's going to be a big year. One of the biggest, most important things for me was that or I guess something that really shows their belief in what we're doing as a Dukes and stuff is the fact that they want to do it for a number of years. So it's not just a flash in the pan type deal. It's going to be, um, unless I mess it up. No, joking. We'll be fine.
We love
No.
you,
So
Oakley.
yeah, they really supported us. They're really behind the vision, behind the idea, and we've got some huge things coming up. Starting with maybe by the time this is released, we would have announced the dates in Brazil for the first camp in 2026, which is going to be. Yeah, I am excited. I am excited. Sorry, I shouldn't make noisy like, but it's super exciting. But yes, major shout out to Oakley. Cannot wait. Super excited. Yeah, we're about to shake up the space a bit. It's gonna be fun.
And Yaz, what have you been up to amongst whatever this time is? You are a working girl now, and we are only with Yaz, your girl at night.
Honestly, working is the ghetto. It is the
Quoted.
trenches.
Go
I
on, go on.
have Fridays off, which is like a blessing in disguise, which we love. We love, but honestly, I don't know why people do this work thing voluntarily. Like, can money not be free?
Is this what happens after you've been a kept woman for some time and then you have to go back into the world
Yeah,
of work? Is that?
it's not it. It's just not it. Like people want you to do stuff, but you don't want to do it. They want you to get up early, but like for their benefit, not for your own. It's all just a bit long. Although I have really enjoyed commuting. Like that sounds so silly. Like the best part of my journey is genuinely every day I get on the same train, I see the same people, I sit in the same seat, I watch my little program, I download them at night, I go, right, I'm going to watch these. I watch my little program, hop off, say hello to the people at the station because I know them now. Because it's nice. Well, I work in Southend now, so like I can walk to the pier, have a look over at like the beach and the tide, walk to work. Yeah, it's great.
Beach feels aggressive.
Yeah,
Is that
not
really what
on the
it is?
beach. I look down at it and then I go,
Is it
great.
sand or pebbles? Is it sand or pebbles?
I mean the tide's always out, so I'm gonna say sand because I can see a lot of
Okay,
sand. I
okay,
can't see a
fair.
lot of sea at the time of the morning that I get to work.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um, but yeah, it's been good. I mean, unfortunately, I have no netball updates. Netball has been cancelled the last 2 weeks. It
Jeez.
was, I know, it was -5 last week, and where I am, it was actually -7. And they had we play at a school and they had exams in the hall, so we couldn't use the hall, and we couldn't be outside because of health and safety because it had snowed and then it was icy, so we couldn't be outside. And then this week forfeited again because the team that we were playing against couldn't field a team, so we had to. Well, I say we had to forfeit the
I was
game,
gonna
get
say
the win.
you got. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
But we
Eddie
didn't choose to
Richmond.
play, which is rubbish. But it's given me more time to really focus on my tennis, because me and T have decided that our New Year's resolution is that whenever we do any event with like our friends, it's going to be tennis or paddle. We're going to absolutely smack them at doubles in both games, and then we'll cook them dinner as like commiserations. That's the plan.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I love the competitiveness and I love
Always.
that there's always some sort of goal reward at the end. I need to
Yeah.
install that into my life a little bit more.
Yeah, look,
For those of our regular viewers and listeners, yes, you seem to have a bit of a thing about like knowing where people are and where people sit, and whether it's in yoga or where at the gym or on the train to work. What is that? That's just how you work, is that? That's
yeah, look, there's having a good routine is good. We like comfortable. Don't get me wrong, I like a little bit of risk, but when you're back in the ghetto, which is work, you have to have some home comforts. And my home comforts are my seat on the train, the same train every morning, and my programs on my phone that I download.
fair enough, fair enough. And
Makes it a little bit easier.
Phoebe, speaking of the ghetto that is work, where does this week find you? This is week one, week two. Where are you? What's
Week
going on?
Lost.
two. Yeah, week two. To be fair, I love my work, so I can't complain at all.
Okay.
It's just that I never know what happens next. That is the negative, is leading up to it. So it'd be like your equivalent of like when you're at the house before you get on your train. I'm at the house, and that's the part I hate. So it's more about goodness. Well, if I rewind a little bit, we obviously found out last minute where we were going. So Wednesday of last week found out that we were going to go to Charlotte, but I was really adamant that if I was going to be in the States for ever, it feels like, that I didn't want to just do the three games, basically the Sunday games. The way Sky Sports sorts it is we want to do the early games because that's where we get the most viewers. So we challenged ourselves to try and get to Charlotte, do the Panthers Rams game, and then drive immediately after that to get down to Jacksonville and do the Bills Jags games. And that was amazing. I mean, watching Matthew Stafford in real life and Devontae Adams, the way he runs his routes was incredible. It was a great game. Yes, Kenny Bella would like to ask a question.
Like me? No, no, no. I was saying Devontae Adams runs routes like me. You've seen it before. It's the same
It's
kind of
because he
same.
watched your film on YouTube and he was like,
Basically,
this is who I want to model my career off
Those are
the,
some strong statements. But yeah, so that was just an incredible experience. Literally left immediately after the Charlotte game, drove 5.5 hours, got to interview T-Mac, which was great. Drove 5.5 hours to Jacksonville, and then the game on Sunday was awesome. Like just being back with my Bills family was amazing. Got to do a post-game interview with Sean McDermott and Shaq Thompson, who'd had a great game. And then right after that, I ended up driving to Tampa the next day or like Orlando because all these teams right now are in that area for the kind of annual, what used to be FFWCT, then was USA Flag, and is now IFL. And so it's a great big competition. I mean, you've got tons of people, over 30 fields. The amount of different divisions and types of categories to play in is insane. But I got an email call Tuesday morning saying that I needed to leave for work. So none of that really matters. I flew out Wednesday night, drove to my mom's, went to JFK, drove to my mom's in Connecticut, spent the night, and then drove up to New England the following morning. And that is where I currently am in Boston, Massachusetts. So it's been great to watch the GB girls who are competing out there, but not just what they're doing. I think also the Canadians are out there, the French are out there, men's and women's, and just a lot of like, and Team China, of course, just a lot of international teams competing on a big stage. And, the conversation we have a lot is how do we get the experience against these better teams and against American teams a lot of times? And so here's a great opportunity to play back-to-back games, like full days. It's not always the best conditions, but you're going to have a fight essentially. You're going to have to like really prove yourself. So it's been pretty cool to see from a distance.
Everyone, put your lighters up for Team Spain. We'll be at a competition somewhere near you soon.
That was about to be my next question, Kenny. Like,
Yeah,
¿dónde está?
No, 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 ¿dónde? No, we're out here. Our work is happening virtually at the minute, and we're building up to um yeah, to getting everyone together, and as Phoebe said, it's having that there's nothing that replicates that competition, being in the game, being kind of in the cauldron as it is, and just like battling it out. So, kind of have to. I joke with QB Monica. She just switches off. She mutes everyone on Instagram because nobody wants to see everyone running around having fun, and then you're just here at home watching film.
True.
But no, no. But sorry, Phoebe, going back, saw some videos and whatever postings about the houses that the GB women are staying in.
Yeah, so that was what was really cool, to be honest. It's basically we had, I want to say 26 girls, maybe more than that, and we were all staying in a house together. So that is a lot of people in one under one roof. The coaches had and staff had their own house. It was very similar to one that we had actually gone and visited years ago when we were there with the Remo brothers. And Orlando area has these kind of crazy houses where they're all like themed rooms. So we had like multiple quadruple bunk bed rooms where there was like an under the sea themed one, a Mickey Mouse themed one. There were games rooms, like multiple games rooms. So you had like Pac-Man and air hockey and basketball, like the shooting the hoops. Upstairs were shuffleboard and a huge life-size like Scrabble, darts,
So cool.
all the games you could ever have, a pool, which was great for like active recovery. And then we played against, so we had like three vans we rented between all of us. I'd say breakfast in the morning was kind of insane because you've got everybody cooking at the same time, one sink. That is where that house is going
That's
wrong.
the that's
That
the
is
bottleneck.
that was the bottleneck. The sink backed up to the grill top. Like
Oh dear.
that's,
Yeah.
we got to work on that. But it was very cool to be in that environment. And like then we all take the vans to the field together and we played Warner University, who have, Panamanians on their team. They have someone from technically from the UK. They have Canadian, one of the girls from Turkey who we had worked with as well, which was
Oh,
very
dope.
cool. Um, and then so it was Warner split into two teams. We had two teams as GB, and then Team China were there. And we just did kind of a round robin. And that was great, like just to kind of get the tournament started, to run around again, get some experience. We did practice first half of the day, and then, Warner were great to kind of organize it. And yeah, I mean, it was just awesome opportunity to be able to just get some competition in that's not just against yourselves. And we have a lot of young people, so even at the Worlds or whatever we're calling this week, we have an under 23s for GB, which is huge. And when you look at like the talent that's on under 23s, you look at our quarterback, Jess Allen's under 23, Jacobed's under 23, Emily Kemp is under 23, amongst other really, really talented young people. And you're like, wow, this team in the future could be super stacked if they keep getting that level of competition in.
Nobody wants to hear all that. We're fine. It's okay.
I know, I know. Sorry about that. But it's great that there is that.
No, it's good.
I think for me, it speaks to the fact that there never used to be an under 23s competition at these events. And now
Mm.
you've got so many young people who are coming up and playing. You also have an over 45s and like a masters as well, which I love that. But like it's really great to see that there's such a demand because there's been so many people playing. And this week we saw the LA ticket ballot finally open as well. Ooh,
Did
I think last time I looked, it said something like 1 point.
1.5 million, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I was one
incredible.
of them.
Tell your girl.
What sports do you want to see? Flag football.
Well, hopefully we will get What the Flag out there as a media partner, and then you will be on the sidelines getting the work done. Yes, it would be amazing. Yes, Mr.
Public
Bell.
service announcement. Phoebe said about over 45s earlier. If anyone asks me about that,
Ready?
it's beef. No, 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 no. Straight war. Straight.
Couple years, couple years, couple years, couple years.
Yeah,
I like it, I
exactly. I
like
got time. I got time. I got time. It's fine. But no, it's gonna be so cool. Like it's gonna be so cool because I'm gonna be at the Olympics for flag one way, shape, or form. Like whatever, yeah, whatever way we have to do that. Like we just have to make that work. Like it's not even a thing.
Can I just say, this reminds me of like, do you remember back in the day when we used to watch X Factor and then you used to have like girls group, boys group, the group, and then you have over 25s, and everyone will be like, "Oh, over 25, so old." Like we're the over 25s. Like
Like
that's
awkward.
our category. If we
Been
have
over
talent, like
25 for 15 years. Like, relax, relax. It's
sorry, Kenny, sorry.
awkward,
Only,
awkward.
only a couple of years here, so
Like, jeez. I think I was over 25s when they were doing that show. Like, I think I legit.
sorry, Kenny. So you never felt the oh that's oh I'm sorry.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, thank you.
Well, for some people that would be relevant. Niche.
And on that note, we will be right back with your rant of the week, again, powered by our amazing partners, Touchdown Trips. Rant of the week. Look, I know this is coming from a privileged position. However, we can apply this to anything. People who, when you land, when they stand up and run down the aisle ahead of you, or on a bus and people run in front of you. Or I found some instances when you're getting off a train and people just come right up on the train. Like, why? My people, why? Patience is a virtue. I get if you're late to something and that's upsetting and that's frustrating, but things
Yeah,
will
yeah.
go smoother, like a little zipper. It'll be so much better. It just goes smoothly when you just wait your turn, right?
Where are you going? The door's still closed. That's the thing. Buses, trains, I'm like, the door opened, we went for it. Cool. I can kind of allow. It's that I saw a gentleman, and I call him a gentleman. He was not a gentleman at all.
Good
It's
day,
one of
sir.
them where plane landed, people are stood
Privilege.
up. People are stood up, right? Door is still locked. People are stood up. This man with his suitcase above his head like this, then proceeded to push past everyone. But he didn't say a word. He didn't say, I'm sorry, my plane he has the right to fight. My plane's late, or I'm missing my connection, or he just, but like shoving past people who are also, and then I was a bit caught because I was like, first of all, if you're stood up in the aisle and the door's still closed, it serves you right to get pushed out of the way by this man who's trying to get to the front of the door ahead of everyone. But where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going?
I don't know. The other day, and this is my last piece on it. I did enjoy that. Obviously, the flight attendants thought this was rude and uncalled for. And this lady they landed. We landed, you've got to wait for the seatbelt thing to come off or whatever. She had gotten up, gotten her suitcase, and went up to the front. Like she was out. It was actually impressive how quickly the whole experience happened.
With the
And
seatbelt sign still on?
they came onto the loudspeaker and were like, we have not turned off your seatbelt signs. Please sit down. And
Tell
so
them.
not only this, so people went to go sit down. She sat there with her rolly suitcase and they were like, no luggage in the aisles. Please put your suitcase back. And the girl had to go put it back up in the thing and sit back down and just be like, oh. And then like probably 2 seconds later, the thing went off. But I was like, nice. Good job.
Multiple walks of shame.
We love
Love it.
love to see it.
Love it.
Literally. I also, going off tangent a little bit, we had this great, sometimes, especially in America, you get really great like flight attendant announcements. And he was like, you don't always get like in the States, I think you can get like the little nibs, the little liquor bottles or whatever that people might
Mm.
order. And he was trying to tell people, he goes, you can have one and it's on me. Two, it's still free. Three, if you see more than three of me. Four, you're on the floor. Like he was doing this whole like rhyme about how the more liquor you have, the worse it's gonna be for you. But I was like, I do enjoy this part of the flight where you get good characters as your attendants.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Like it's not always. I must say, look, British Airways, sort it out. Right.
Cool. Cool.
But I will say, when we flew back from maybe it was Minnesota. I can't even remember what airline we were on. I think it was Delta. Now, I haven't heard great things about Delta. However, it was the most civilized flight I've ever been on. You know how the captain comes on the plane, he's like, and he was basically saying, can you file out? Like, because there are people who have
Different.
connections, let them all go first, and then you guys can get off the plane. Now, I was expecting a mass exodus because we all know as soon as we get to Gatwick or Heathrow, everyone's like, right, quick, we've got to run to the gates. But it was the most civilized flight I've ever been on in my life. Everyone just sort of like stood up in order, filed out slowly. I was like, wow, wow, like this actually happens. And it was swiftly followed by, like a few months later when I had the flight from Ohio to New York, where captain said the same thing. There are people who've got like flights we're behind, like let them off first. No, I was stuck in that queue for ages. I wouldn't mind. I was at the front of the plane. There were people at the back of the plane who had already beat me, and I was like the second row in, and they were like, right, sorry, I've got to go. Where are you going, Gary? Because I guarantee you're trying to get a flight back to the
Gary.
UK.
I
No.
love it.
Hey, pro tip. If you look off the left side of the plane and there's buses, just chill. Don't. That's the worst. That's the very worst thing. The peak of this rant of the week is when people jump up and I can see the buses that we all have to get on. The bus is not gonna go, so just don't do that. Just don't do that.
Also,
Done.
if you're the last one off and you're the last one on the bus, it actually bodes you better because it means you're the first one off.
Fair enough.
You get back to the hall because you're right by the doors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Learn from this, Gary.
And that was our rant of the week. All right, so we have been holding this the whole time, but it has finally been announced. The NCAA has voted to add women's flag football to the Emerging Sports for Women program. This is huge because the sport is officially now on the path to varsity and championship status, and it kind of builds on the momentum that's already been growing across high schools, colleges, around the world, basically. And so huge next steps, and really it's just a milestone. I mean, it's history. We're creating the future. Everything from here is up because getting it in acknowledged by NCAA is wild. And just think of how many more opportunities for young women and girls to go play at university, at college. This is an absolute game changer. What did you think when you saw the news, Yaz?
I mean, I thought it was incredible. I think any opportunity for, a girl to be like, hey, I could go and play this sport at a really high level at college, or, the possibility of even getting a sponsorship to do so is absolutely incredible. I think it opens up so many pathways. I think until this point, it's been very much, find a team, which is fine, and then kind of work your way up to sort of like a national standard, but there hasn't necessarily been a sort of like education platform that's given that leap towards, because we know that college football is obviously like when we talk about tackle football is obviously like the pool where they choose their players from. And just the idea that, that could be your pathway to this being professional, especially with the introduction of a professional league coming up as well. Like, I think it's just absolutely amazing that that opportunity is now available and it doesn't detract in other areas. We've spoken about it before and we've spoken about sacrifice, and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when you have a hobby that you're really talented at, it eats other areas of your life because you have to pursue it. But the fact that there's now a possibility that you could have your education running alongside your hobby, maybe even now your career, like, I mean, more.
And
Yeah.
Kenny, you've got Olga, who is now with the Sauer sisters at Ottawa University. So you've got, I mean, Laura as well, who is in the States competing. I mean, what do you think about it when, especially someone who coaches these young women who are getting these opportunities?
First of all, shout out NAIA. I think it's always difficult to be the ones to come first and kind of get it in front of people. But it's amazing. I've always had a bit of a wager, like who's gonna get rich from playing flag? And I'm like, does this mean they get like NIL deals and stuff like that? Is that a thing that's gonna be coming up? I don't know. Go on, Phoebe.
Well, I'm glad that you kind of brought that up because yes, NAL is definitely going to be a thing, but just got to shout out Jacqueline Dahl, who is from First Up Marketing, really Patrick Mahomes' agent, and Ashley Clam being signed to that agency. For me, that's a really huge step. I mean, shout out to Ashley anyways for what
Go
they're
get that big chain, Ashley.
exactly
Big
for what
chain.
she's doing. I mean, she's, really the future of the sport in so many different ways. And, someone that's worked really hard and we've got to, play together for years and I've got to see her grow and she comes from a great family. And I think also what that does and opens it up. But people like Oakley, people like Toyota, people like Under Armour who just shot another flag football commercial for the girls. Like, those are the companies who've truly invested and been there the whole time and really, really pushing the growth and development of the sport, but also giving these women a platform where, you get people like Izzy Gratchi who's able to earn money, from doing commercials. And that's only going to get bigger and better. And, we're also going to have, I'm off going, but, USA are playing Team Mexico men's during the Super Bowl week. You've got Pro Bowl games. You've got the international teams, youth that are going out there playing in San Francisco the week of Super Bowl week, competitions on those days. I just think the sky is truly the limit. Another celebrity flag game. Like these things go on, and then the last celeb flag game is going to be that one in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia with Tom Brady and all these unbelievable, superstars. So I just think where we are in the sport is so exciting. And, to Yaz and your point, Ken, about like sponsorship and what that could look like in the future.
But also for the teachers in the room, the fact that girls can get a free education because of the level of the sport they play, because for playing flag and as part of that, I think that's also a potentially like underrated part of this where it's going to be, hey, like I might not go on to become a professional flag player or whatever, but because it's in an NCAA sport, because of the way the scholarships are meted out, in the colleges, we can get girls now potentially going to some very good schools. Good, not saying non-NCAA schools are bad schools, but like you go to a good school, you play in a good program, but you also get a really strong education. And whether you then choose to stay in the US or, go back to wherever, whichever country you're playing in, whichever way, like it's amazing. And it's been said already, Phoebe, you said it already, like it just opens up so many opportunities. It's gonna be, I think it can only be good. If they offer you a job coaching in the NCAA, you're taking it. Both of you. I'm talking about both of you, not just Phoebe.
The season runs opposite to NFL season. So
But that's a good thing.
that is a good thing. Would you take it? No, that's what I'm saying. It's a good thing. I
Yeah.
mean, it starts kind of like end of Jan, February, and then runs all the way through. Would you take it, Miss Yaz?
Yeah, why not? Opportunities don't come around all the time.
More enthusiasm, mate. Yes, like,
Yeah.
yeah, why not?
Like opportunities like that don't come around all the time. You have to just take them. Like worry about the consequences later. Just go for it.
And it's sevens, so there's some blocking, some shielding. So, girl, you got this.
Hire me.
Hire me.
Hire me. I'm good at that.
We've
But
got this. We've got this.
have film.
Yeah.
Call me NCAA. Call me.
I'm just like, as long as it's a nice warm state, I'm down.
Kenny
Don't.
said he'll be an OC. What?
I'm not getting anywhere. Do you know? I need to share. I feel like I'm being pigeonholed as an offensive guy, and I'm like, I do flag. I do flag. Like offense, defense, special teams. Like I do flag. So don't. I'm not just an OC. But yeah, no cold states. I'm not interested in
Well,
forever. No, no, no.
you'd have to move to America.
No.
How does
Why?
that?
Why?
Or permanently, or can I do it in like
No,
just do it like all the time?
no, no. Oh, no,
I mean, you probably have
it's
to be there
seasonal.
for 6 months of the year.
How many flights can I bargain?
And you'd have to recruit the rest of the year. It's like a job job.
That's my
Can
point. I
I
would
can I
recruit.
recruit from home?
You guys are the worst. This is
Remote recruitment. Remote
No,
recruitment.
send me your tape.
Yeah. Let's see what you
Oh
got.
wait, no, don't do that for Kenny though. Kenny needs to be there because Kenny doesn't watch film. So
Kenny doesn't watch,
exactly.
but
yeah,
Kenny
so Kenny
doing
needs
is
to.
Kenny what Kenny will have scouts. I'll recruit if they find someone we want, I'll recruit that person. But I'm not watching tape. But
Hmm.
You just lost your DC role, right?
Yeah,
That's it. OC only.
immediately, immediately.
Oh,
I
good. No, it could be good.
think we also want to bring up, as we're kind of looking at some really exciting stuff, the World Games. Victoria Chavez being voted as one of the players of the World Games. Obviously, flag football being one of the most watched sports at the World Games. I
Mhm.
mean, first off, she had a phenomenal game. Like she crushed it and was all over the field. But I mean, I think that's such an incredible testament to this sport that so many people, there's so many great sports, the World Games, and really, really fascinating ones. But actually, flag football was the one that captured people's hearts and minds. I mean, I guess for both of your perspective, like, how do you feel thinking about that, knowing that? Does that get you excited? Like, what do you think the future could be?
It's huge. It shows that there's such a already one of the questions constantly when you start to look at the sport from a commercial standpoint is viewership, right? Will people watch? Will people, And some of the thing that makes me honestly really happy around it is that it was fives and it was IFAF style rules, right? And with that, it still, was the most watched because I think there is some, understandably, I guess to some degree, there's some question around is flag like snappy enough? Is it quick enough? And I'm like, yeah, it is, but also it's testament to the teams that were out there minus Spain, and the level of competition that they were able to put on and show and what they were able to showcase, which is what it should have been all about, and it's really interesting. I'd love to hear from those that were kind of that watched both what the difference was between the World Championships, World Games in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama in 2021, I want to say 2022, I can't remember which year. Um, and these ones in China because I feel like the competition was more level, this time round. And I think that's just going to keep happening and happening to where hopefully if we get to a place where you've got the top 8, 10 teams and really anyone can win, I think that's when you really get the fireworks from the competitions as we go. So kudos like to everyone involved. I think that was just is a really testament to it.
Absolutely. And then I guess just kind of wrapping up today, really, in today's episode, I kind of wanted to, you know, bring it full circle to, there's some really exciting stuff going on in the next month or so. Um, Obviously, Pro Bowl, Super Bowl, Oakley, Jukes camps, the OIA. We also have NFL are doing continue to do their NFL Flag Way to Play Award. If anyone has videos, quality clips, please send them in. We want to see them. We're always looking for great stuff. But the world is in a place where flag football is kind of pushing itself to be in the forefront. And I wanted to ask each of you if you close your eyes and you think, okay, in 5 years' time, what does flag look like to you? Where do you think the sport can be? Yes, I know the Olympics will happen, but like a true 5 years, what would you want for the sport? And what does that look like? Ken, I'll go to you first.
Um, in 5 years, people are throwing this idea, and I will admit, anyone that knows me, I'm quite skeptical. So we've had this announcement from IFL or iFlag, or about a professional flag league. Not the first one. There's also an announcement came out of Australia that they're developing a professional flag league as well. I'm always quite skeptical because quite naturally most new things most, whether it's a business, organization, whatever, they kind of fail. Like it's very rare that you get the one, and that's no shade on the people doing it. That's just the nature of new things. They don't always succeed. Um, but the space for flag, it becomes its own thing. So there was a competition, random link here, but in tennis, the battle of the sexes. I don't know. I don't know anything about tennis, but where it was the male player against the female player, it was like kind of.
Hmm.
But the exhibition style format of that event is where I think Flag's future lies, where it's kind of what Tom Brady's going to be doing in Riyadh. Maybe not with NFL players, but just a kind of more 1 day weekend type event rather than it being an NFL type season where it's a long, 20 weeks, 24, 4 weeks, whatever it is. Actually, you just have kind of standalone events and everything every time, quote me on this, feels like the NBA All-Star weekend, where it's a bunch of events around the games you have the games, you have the personalities. You can go kind of the and one style street hoopers and street players and those shifters and whatever's. You can go the guys that are like Megatron, and I say guys, the guys and girls, like you can have a lot of fun with it because the key things there's no helmet, so everyone's recognizable, right? Flag also allows you to be unique and stylized in your own, and in my mind, I'm like just off the top of my head, Phoebe's like Team Adidas, Ashley Clam's Team Nike, Deanna's Team Under Armour, and like they're going that kind of competition there is going to be a key thing. So I think the future is exciting because there's so much potential, but um, it's going to be interesting to see if it's steered in a direction or you know, if it happens by accident, if that makes sense.
And Yaz, what about you from your perspective? I think you've got such a cool perspective, on just the sport itself.
Um,
No, no pressure.
I would say there's two things. I think one, I kind of agree with Kenny, and I think that flag's power is its ability to be played at recreational level. Like professional leagues are fantastic, and the second point that I'll make in a minute is that like games will be watched. But I think the first point is the ability for it to be played at any level and for anyone to be able to pick it up and do it. Like, you know how you have like Power League where you can go and play 5 versus 5 kicky ball, or, if people want to start paddle, they just pick up a racket and they just go. It'd be really nice to see a space where like, there was a venue where people could just get a team of 5 to 7 of their friends together and just go and play. Like, it was that easy. Here are the 10 rules of playing the game. Like, off you go, you can play it in your own time. I think the power of a sport like this is that it's not untouchable for anyone. You can play it at any level. And I think that's something that if it's lent into the right way and there's the right facility for it, I think that is so incredibly powerful, because from that you then lead into when you have the professional games and you have the venues where you do have, Team Nike versus Team Adidas versus Under Armour, or a celebrity flag game, or when you eventually have professional games, you have all of those people who just enjoy flag and understand flag and want to go and enjoy it, as well as the people who might go for the names or because they like this one player. And I think that's where the community starts, is because you've built it for everyone. Like, we were saying earlier, there's a team for over 45s. Like, great. Like, how amazing would it be to see, like, I don't know, a group of Dave and his 5 mates from down the pub, like,
And Gary,
and
don't forget
Gary.
Gary.
No, Gary doesn't play flag football. He's too
Oh,
pro.
Gary's.
Um, but like, it'd be so nice to just see, like, Dave and his friends down the pub, like having a run around, like, because they've got 2 teams together on a Wednesday night, and there's some like a venue down the road where they can go and do that. Like, I think, yeah, that's what I'd like to see in 5 years, is that anyone could just pick it up and do it at any level.
Yeah, and I think that's I think both of you have great answers, and I think those are definitely on path to the future of the sport, and just kind of growing the community at every single level in every country around the world. And we're going to continue to try and strive to achieve that with What the Flag. So make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And we will be back next week for some more What the Flag action.